Hello, 8th grade. Today we will be going through the organic compound notes that you'll be completing, and you'll be working on that today and tomorrow. So you should have some idea about organic compounds after completing the assignment for yesterday. So you'll look at our essential questions. These are the things you're going to be learning during this assignment. How do you identify organic compounds? How are organic compounds produced? What elements are found in organic compounds? And how do you recognize organic compounds and chemical formulas? So just a review on the left, that elements are atoms or molecules that are made of the same type of atom, and compounds are made up of different types of atoms. So organic compounds, you can see that there's some examples there: protein, carbohydrates, fats. Organic chemistry is a scientific study of the structure, properties, and reactions of carbon-containing compounds. And it was originally limited to compounds produced by living organisms, but now it also includes human-made substances like cosmetics, plastics, and pharmaceuticals, as you can see pictures of on the right. Biomolecules, these are made by cells. And you can see on the right, it tells you the percentage of organisms are made up of those 6 elements. And you can see in the picture how much each of those elements make up the human body. Inorganic compounds, they do not contain carbon and hydrogen bonded together. So some examples, we have salt, that's sodium and chlorine. We have water that has hydrogen and oxygen. And we have carbon dioxide, which is carbon and oxygen. Now, of course, carbon dioxide has carbon in it, but it is not bonded to hydrogen. A mnemonic device is a pattern of ideas or letters to help you remember something. So you are going to come up with your own mnemonic device to help you remember all the elements that can be found in an organic compound. So if you go back to here, this tells you all the elements. You need to make a mnemonic device such as because or laugh here. So each word in your mnemonic device will start with the first letter of the element, and it should make a word, or you can make a phrase. So this is a flowchart about organic compounds. You can look through this yourself, but it gives examples of what organic compounds are made by animals and plants. So organic compounds. So the criteria is they must contain carbon, and they have to bond to one another and another element, especially like hydrogen, oxygen, or nitrogen. And they form small molecules called monomers. Monomers and polymers. Monomers are the building blocks, and it means mono means one. Polymers are large molecules made up of monomers, and that means many. You can see some examples of a monomer and a polymer on the right. So I want you to think of 2 or 3 analogies for monomers and polymers. So 2 or 3 ideas that will help you to remember them. For example, if you said house, a house is a polymer because it's made up of many materials. But what would be the monomer there? Maybe a brick. So you're going to come up with at least 2 analogies for monomers and polymers. So organic compounds are the simplest of the organic compounds are hydrocarbons. Those are made just from hydrogen and carbon. They are used for fuel combustion and heating and motor fuel applications. So oil is made up of hydrocarbons, natural gas, things that we burn to run our vehicles, to heat our homes, to cook. And it shows some examples: methane, ethane, propane, and butane. So those are all types of fuels. So there are 4 main groups of organic compounds. There's carbohydrates, lipids, which we also call fats, proteins, and nucleic acids. So carbohydrates, They are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And the cells use carbohydrates to get and store energy. For example, fruit, vegetables, starches, bread, pasta, sugars, those are all examples of carbohydrates. Lipids, they're fats. Again, they're made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And so when you have unused energy, your body will store it as fat, as lipids. And when that's broken down, it provides energy for living things. For example, cholesterol, nuts, avocados, butter, oil, waxes, these are all made up of fats. Proteins, organic compounds that are proteins. They're large molecules and they're made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. They help build our organelles. We need them for tissue growth and repair. They help us fight against illness. And we find them in meat, fish, eggs, milk, keratin, which is in our hair and nails. So nucleic acids, that's what makes up our DNA and our RNA. Long repeating chains made up the elements carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and phosphorus. And that stores our genetic information. Think about the composition of our bodies. So we often see diets that are low carb or low fat. Why is it important to eat all food groups, including carbohydrates and fats? And you may need to go back and look at the slides about those to help you remember those. Okay, so here we can see a flow chart of organic compounds, what carbohydrates are, lipids, proteins, nucleic acids. Now here you are going to put the elements that make up hydrocarbons, make up carbohydrates, make up lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. Make sure that you don't have like 2 oxygens here or 2 carbons here. Go back and look at the slides so that you are putting the correct element in the correct spot. Once you've completed that slide, you can move this box and answer these 4 questions. Okay, so this is kind of a wrap up. You can recognize organic compound by the elements in its formula. Hydrocarbons are CH, carbohydrates have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Lipids have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Proteins have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. And nucleic acids have all those plus phosphorus. Now, here you're going to look at the formula and decide if it's organic or inorganic. Then you'll move the box and it will tell you if you're correct or not. There is no reason that all these should be correct. So you're going to pull the box to see if it's organic or inorganic. So let's take a look at sodium chloride, otherwise known as salt. There is no carbon in this formula, so this cannot be organic. It must be inorganic. So you're going to go through all these, pull the correct boxes, and make sure you get them all correct. Now here, this is the 4 different things we've been learning about: carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, nucleic acids. So what one is made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, you're going to figure out which one that is. You're going to put the examples and the function. So this corner goes together. This one's examples: cholesterol, nuts, avocados, butter, oil, and waxes. What is the function of that? Composed of this corner together. Then you'll do this corner together and this corner together. Finally, you need to answer all these questions. These are actually worth twice what all the other questions are on the slides. So take your time, go back and look at your notes, and answer these 4 questions correctly. And then here if you have any other questions. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you have a great day.